Janelle Brown from Sister Wives had some really scary news. Guys, oh my god, Janelle had some super freaking scary news. This is the deal. Janelle Brown from Sister Wives posted this picture right there on Instagram sharing this pretty freaking scary message. Janelle said, "Many of you have been noticing and reaching out to me about the blemish above my lip in new episodes. I am posting this picture hopefully for awareness. I started to see what looked like a scar develop in an area on my lip where all my cold sores from the past 2 decades have been. At first I thought it was just a new cold sore forming, but then it never developed and just stayed. Over the next year or so, it slowly increased in size. I started treating it with every scar medication I could find, thinking it was my body reacting to the years of trauma, to that area of my face with, onset, all the stuff, the pandemic going on. My doctor's appointments was delayed 2 months, but I finally had it checked out. It was a basal cell carcinoma skin cancer I don't know how to even pronounce that word, I'm sorry. Something, but it still needed to be removed. I am happy to report that it was removed and all is well. You have to know that I am very careful. I always wear sunscreen. I, obviously burned really easy in the past, blah, blah, blah. This place on my face just looked like a scar tissue, and because I had cold sores there since I was in my early 20s, I thought, didn't think anything of it." And she goes on to say that she was sharing the message just to say, if you have something on your face, to go and check it out. So, oh my god, Janelle, it thankfully, it started down here and it went up positive because she does not have anything anymore, thank God. But Janelle, that is freaking terrifying news. And let me real quick apologize for being a god-awful reader, but if you are wondering, we are still in the midst of a Sister Wives season, and I have a feeling we're just kind of getting started because the season is actually kind of starting to get kind of good, and we just got to see the episode a couple days ago, and this is what we got to see. There's been a lot of drama. The pandemic is starting to start, which we saw that at the end of the episode, so more on that in a minute, because I can only imagine, if there was one person that literally cannot quarantine, it would be Cody Brown, because he has like 4 different houses. But more on that in a couple of seconds. We got to see stuff go down with Christine and Robin. The last handful of episodes, a long story short, Christine has been complaining. Christine, here is the deal. Christine just never felt like when she was in one house that she was not the queen of the house. That was the big drama of this episode, that when she was living in one house, she was the basement wife, not the queen wife. Whatever. That's just ridiculous. Obviously, Christine has stuff she has to work on, and I don't blame her. She's married to a complete babbling idiot, and that's saying something coming from me, who is also a babbling idiot, but Cody is a lot worse, I feel like. But anyway, that was her issue, and so she still is fed up with this whole one house idea that Cody Brown loves. Cody wants it, she doesn't, and now she finally admitted that she doesn't want the one house because she won't be the queen of the house. That's the general idea. So, Robin came over, they talked, they basically just talked about some of their differences, they talked about some new learnings, and then that is when the whole idea of Christine basically just opened up and was talking about the basement and this and how she doesn't feel like she's, when she's in charge, and she doesn't know how she can really be a mother if it's not really her house. And I was hearing all this stuff saying, okay, then why did you become a sister wife if you knew the deal? Here's the program. Get with the program, girl. The whole idea of being a sister wife is there are multiple wives. You knew that going into this, Christine, but it's like she did it, and that's what it is. So that's her, it makes her uncomfortable, and I totally get it. That's why I'm not, a polygamist, but that makes her uncomfortable. She doesn't feel good about it, and she doesn't really know how to mother and parent when there's multiple mothers in the house, so she wants separate houses, and she feels like because she wants separate houses, now her and Cody are kind of distancing themselves. And that is when also we heard the new, the whole situation about how Cody has never ever showered at her house. And that is actually not true. So let me reword that. Cody used to not shower at her house, and then once he got with Robin, Robin somehow heard, Robin told Cody, and somehow Robin convinced Cody to start showering at Christine's house. That was the big drama. Of course, Christine, I hate to kind of say it, but she's kind of a big complainer. Now, I don't blame her because she's married to Cody Brown, but she kind of complains a lot. So she's having issues with the house. Then she brought up how he used to never shower there and how that made her feel awful, and how he would just kind of come and go. Okay, well then we flash to Cody, and Cody had this big, long, drawn-out story about how Christine makes everything seem negative, makes everything seem bad, and that was never the case, and there was a whole other story to that whole situation, and he was kind of actually a little bit mad, and he was definitely being a little bit vocal, and I was watching this thinking, okay, why did production not say, hi Cody, hi Christine, go sit in one room and talk it out? Because they had 2 totally different stories, and she seemed honestly pretty hurt, but the thing that I think hurt her the most was that how supposedly Robin just simply went to Cody and said, hey, I think you should start showering there, and magically Cody Brown was like, yeah, I am going to start showering showering there. So yeah, the big drama that he never showered there, well, apparently he claims that he used to. So I don't, it's just typical Cody. He said, she said, that was the moral of the story. Then we got to see Cody's daughter, who is marrying a lady, Mariah and Audrey. We got to see them go look at venue shopping because they are going and trying to get married in Utah. They're going from Chicago, they're moving to Utah. They actually seem to be a pretty freaking happy couple. And you know what? For being polygamous, and Cody and the whole family said it, they come from a conservative religion, a conservative background, but they're pretty, I mean, for as far as I could see, they're pretty freaking accepting. They don't seem, I can't talk for Cody. Cody was acting accepting. I don't know what's going through Cody's head, but everyone else, they seem pretty accepting of their relationship, and they were looking at wedding venues. Of course, Cody was there, and so were the other wives, which that is just so weird. I mean, could you guys imagine marrying someone in the person saying that you're marrying, hey, by the way, my mom's or our sister wives. That is just, oh my God. Yeah, so that to me was just like, this is really freaking weird. But they're moving to Utah. They were looking at venues. Cody was running his big fat mouth like crazy about this, that, and the other, and the prices and everything. And I was honestly wondering, is he paying for it? Because the guy was obsessed. Like he must be paying for the wedding, because that was the only thing he could talk about was the prices. And the other dad didn't even mention the prices. So I could only assume maybe they're going to split it. I don't know, but Cody was freaking talking about the prices, you know, the entire time. And then he saw the prices and goes, oh, they aren't very bad. So they saw a couple different wedding venues. They were kind of honestly weird. One of them, you had to go on like a freaking, you know, snowmobile thing, which is like, who, that's the dumb, I mean, it's cool in theory, but that's the dumbest thing I ever heard, because I'm sure it's like your old relatives, they're not going to get on a snowmobile. So I thought that was kind of dumb. But then they went to a castle venue, and it was cool. It looked really cool. Everything was great. The dates lined up, and then actually, no. They looked at the dates, because they wanted a date. They wanted, I think it was August 20-something, 23rd, 28th maybe? I don't remember. But they wanted a date, and in their heads, it was all lining up. It was good to go. But then they told them the date, and they go, we're good to go. They looked at the calendar, saw it was a Sunday, and they go, nope, we are closed on Sundays. So that's a boo-hoo bummer. I don't know what they're going to do, but I believe they're actually planning on getting married in August of 2021. I think she said 21, not 20. So she's, you know, I mean, I think they'll find something. They seem pretty open-minded. I don't think they're in too big of a rush, especially if it is 21. And if it was August 2020, I don't think they got married. There's no pictures online. There's nothing to see. So either they postponed the wedding, or it was going to be in the 2021 to begin with. And then once they left Utah, they were coming home, back home, and then that is when basically the middle of the freaking pandemic hit. And it was crazy. The wives tried to fly back home, and they literally, there's so many delays. There was so much craziness. I'm kind of wondering, what month? Like, was it? It must have been March, if I had to guess, because it seemed like that was kind of right when it was all starting to kind of start. And it's so weird rewatching all that craziness happen again. But I believe it was in March. The wives were at the airport. They couldn't get on a flight. They ended up renting a car and driving home. Cody freaking went to his home, and he went to go see his mother's birthday. And I'm like, oh my God, really, Cody? Do you have to go in the middle of a pandemic to go see your 80-year-old mom at her birthday? I get it. I understand where he's coming from, and it sounded like it was right in the beginning of the pandemic, so I understand it. But still, Cody, it's like you can't just, you know, wait or just call her. I understand too, she's old, and I totally get it, but it's still like probably not the best timing to go. And then that's when they all kind of start freaking out. Janelle was freaking out, okay, and I think honestly Janelle was, and I think honestly Cody Brown was, because Cody Brown is in this middle of all this crap. He has 1 million kids. He has 4 houses. He can't, I mean, how can you literally quarantine if you're going around house to house? So I don't know what he does, but we did get to see that Janelle, you know, basically in a FaceTime call says, I don't want you coming over here, because she just doesn't, I don't know, she probably doesn't, you know, it's just, it's crazy. You don't want Cody Brown, who is bombing around, doing this, that, and the other, going house to house to house, coming to your house during a pandemic. Probably not a great idea. So I think he's going to stay with one of the ladies, and I'm really freaking curious who it's going to be. If I had to guess, I can tell you it won't be Mary. We saw Janelle say don't come, and then I believe, honestly, it probably won't be Christine, so I could probably say it'll probably be Robin, his favorite wife ever, who he seems to be with 95% of the time. So, sister wives, oh my God, we have a lot of drama, a lot of craziness going on. Janelle, I wish her health, wealth, and a heck of a lot of happiness. Wish that happiness, it's gotta be hard to get when you are married to Cody Brown. But anyway, I wish her well. Thank God she had a scary situation, but now it appears everything's on the up and up, and I really sincerely do wish her the best. I feel like she's the last sister wife, because I know Mary doesn't, I know Christine doesn't, and I honestly feel like Robin doesn't either. I feel like Janelle is the last OG sister wife that actually enjoys being a sister wife. She seems to actually kind of love it, and the sisterhood and all this crap and that I think is ridiculous, that we all kind of think is ridiculous. But anyway, sister wives, heck of a show, very entertaining. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and if you are new to this channel, please do me a huge favor, scroll down this video, hit that like button, hit the comments below, hit the subscribe button, and also, I don't ask this enough, but if you guys could maybe possibly hit the share button. Share it with a friend, share it with a family, share it in a group, share it with anyone that you freaking want. But if you share this video, it helps out this channel on Facebook and YouTube so much. Well guys, I love you all so dearly. Thank you for watching this video, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.